Okay, if you're new here, hi, welcome. If you're returning, hi, baby boy. If you're new, I don't know how you came about this channel, but please stay, please subscribe, please like, please comment if there's something you need to say or anything other than that. But okay, so this video is simply dedicated to me talking about something that I've never talked about, and yeah, I recently realized that people have the wrong interpretation of me, and in essence it's okay and it's not. No, it's okay because I don't care. If that's what you think of me, then that's your problem. It's not okay because of people's assumption, they tend to think it's okay to walk all over me. But nah, I used to allow it. Like, I'm also to blame because I used to allow it simply because in the past eight years a lot has been going on. I had depression. Like, I think I've low-key always had depression, but like it got serious during the past 8 years. And no, I didn't try to kill myself or anything. As much as yes, I have like these. No, I wasn't trying to kill myself with these. Like, I actually got stabbed while I was being mad. But back to the story. I felt the need to address this, and I made another video about this, but I never posted it because like I felt it was too long and a lot was just going on. It was just a mess. So I used to go to this other school now, but the school was just plummeting. It was going through a lot. It was losing funding. Everything was, the teachers were crappy. Everything was a mess, basically. Everything was a mess. So my parents thought it was a good idea for me to go to a boarding school, and this boarding school you had to cut your hair and everything. Right, fine. I was okay with cutting my hair because I was like, I have no emotional attachment to my I had no emotional attachment to my hair, right? So fine, I cut it. I was like, cut it. And my sister had already gone to the school the previous year, so she had already cut her hair. So I was like, this thing, it's not that bad. It's not a big deal. Like, I mean, it's just hair. Fine. I cut my hair and I went to the school. Right. When I went to school, I met this other girl. Like, oh, it's not Lily. She's a sweetheart. I met her, and because we both didn't have housing or transport to go to school every day, and our parents were both friends with my neighbor, and my neighbor worked at the town where we went to school, and it was like an hour away from our town. So she'd take us to school like every day, like fine. So we became close because we got to the school together, everything. We registered together for the school, and we went to school together every day. So we decided, let's be just mates, everything. It was cool. So she was my one friend. Right? Cool. I had friends at my other school, the one that was losing funding and everything, right? I had friends, and then like because of the diet at my new school, I gained weight, and yeah, everything was just a mess. And the diet at that school was basically starch. Like, it was starch the whole day, like, because it was a small town and there were limited options of what to actually buy during lunch hour. And yeah, because we have bread for breakfast at the boarding house that I eventually ended up staying in. We had bread for breakfast, and then tea time at school they sold fed cooks, and then lunch hour they made food that had basically starch, like, and then back to raise it was you guys back to the boarding house, you'd get bread for lunch after school. Like after school, you'd get bread, and then for supper you had a starch-based meal, basically. So I gained a lot of weight, right? So fine. When I started going to that school, like I was like a size 28, and then occasionally a size 30. And not because like I had to wear that, but I actually had to wear size 30, but size 30 was still big. Like, when one size is small but the other one is big, like that's what happened to me. So I was basically size 28 and size 30. So yeah, fine. So I gained a lot of weight by March. By March, I was wearing like size 32, 34 vibes. Like, I had gained, literally, I had gained. And because I had gained, when I went home to see my friends, the old friends was, they're used to me wearing like 26, 28 and 30, like, because at the top I wore 26 and then at the bottoms I wore 28, and then occasionally at the bottoms I'd wear 30. So they were used to me being like snatched and skinny, right? So they always, like, without fail, whenever they'd see me, they'd be like, "You're so fat." And every single time, they'd be like, "You're so fat, and why did you cut your hair? You look so ugly." Guys, and it made me so insecure, like so insecure, to the point that I stopped visiting them. I stopped seeing them. I stopped even talking to them, because I was like, you all are highlighting my insecurities. And I have a mirror where I stay. Like, I actually do have a mirror. And because, one, the school I go to starts at 7:30 in the morning and lets out at 4 o'clock in the evening. And the boarding house that I stay at doesn't allow you to get out of the boarding house once you go in. And two, like, they have a time where you have to be back by this time, like by 5 you have to be inside, like you have to be inside the hostel. So I couldn't exercise, I couldn't do anything about it. Like, I genuinely couldn't do anything, because even our room, the one we stayed in, like the rooms we stayed in were tiny, and that thing of exercising when no one else was exercising was like, everyone would be like, "Sis, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that?" Yeah, well, so I couldn't exercise. So fine, I had a lot of insecurities, and I fell into depression, because now I was losing the people that I loved and everything, because now of this weight. And I ended up even hating the school that I went to, and I didn't feel the need to socialize with anyone at that new school. Like, I didn't make friends, because why make friends when I could lose them? Like, they could also leave. Like, they could also leave, because the old ones left, so what's gonna stop these new ones from leaving, right? So that was my mentality, and I didn't make new friends. The only other friend that I gained, apart from Lele, like, is my best friend, like my now best friend. And I didn't really gain her. Like, she wasn't a new friend, but we reconnected. Basically, we reconnected at school, because we had been close friends in like grade 6, and then grade 7 we switched classes, because she went into the class for the closer, I went into the class for the Afrikaans, and then we made new friends in our new classes, and they didn't gel well together, so we ended up drifting apart. So we reconnected in high school, right? Fine. So because of that, like, I was timid, man. Like, I'd let anyone say anything to me, and it affected a huge part of my life, because I allowed a lot of toxic in a way, people into my life. My relationships were not going great because I couldn't communicate with anyone, because I didn't know how to voice out my feelings, because I didn't come from a home where you would talk about, we would sit and talk about our feelings or anything like that. Like, no, we never did that, because like our mother raised us, and our dad normally worked like far from home, like he worked far from home, and he is like now he's the one that, like, if I'd have a problem emotionally, he's the one that I would talk to. Like, I could never talk to my mama. Mama is emotionally disconnected in a way. Like, it's weird, but I know she loves me. Like, we all know, like, she does literally everything for us. But the whole sit and talk about our feelings, she wants us to do that now, but like, sis, you've never done it, and we've been living with you for the whole of our lives, and like, it's just weird. So yeah, I was depressed for the longest of times. I couldn't make friends. I couldn't like I get so anxious about, like, even thinking of making friends made me anxious, because I'd be like, you're gonna leave, like, you're gonna leave. And even dating, like, I had a horrible relationship, like, horrible. And not because the guy was trash. No, I was trash, because I couldn't talk about anything. Like, I couldn't talk to him about anything. And because I couldn't talk to him about anything, he ended up not talking about anything. So it was just a mess. So the only time he'd be there, and he was a very vulgar person, and I don't know how to talk to vulgar people, because like, it's not like, I'm just always like, did you have to, like, did you honestly have to, like, did you have to swear at that point? You didn't have to, right? So why are you doing it? So like, but he was not aggressive, don't get it wrong. He was just vulgar. He's your guys, his like language was vulgar, like he had vulgar, but he was not aggressive or anything like that. He's the sweetest guy you'll ever meet, and Shem, like, he's sweet, he's still sweet to this day. Like, he's sweet. Like, if I'd have a problem, I could call him and he'd still help me out, because he's genuinely a sweet guy. But because I had my issues, the relationship ended up being toxic, right? But I ended up dealing with it in like trying to deal with it actually in varsity, because there's counseling in varsity. So, and because of the friends that I have now, like the friends I have now are very big on mental health, like especially Lilith, like you're that one, like she's a big on mental health. So I was like, she kept telling me, my sis, you need to go for counseling, and yeah, you need to go, because your actual issues are like you're in the pits. So yeah, I ended up going. Thank you, friend, by the way. And yeah, like I'm in a better place now. Like I'm in a better place, Shem. So yeah, now I don't let people walk all over me. Like, if you are coming to me sideways, best believe I'm gonna call you out. And the way I'm gonna call you out, don't judge me, because at the end of the day, if you wanted a reaction out of me, you're gonna get it. Like, no, you're gonna get it. Like, I stopped being that person that is like, oh okay. No, like now, if you come to me sideways, best believe I'm gonna come to you in a wrong angle. Like, I'm gonna come to you 90 degrees. I'm gonna come to you 180 degrees. I'm gonna reverse the situation on you. It's gonna be an uno reverse, and you won't like it, quite honestly. But with that said, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends to come and watch me, because I think I'm entertaining. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna post this before or after my get to know me, but I'm doing a get to know me soon. No, I should post it before, because like I'm gonna do a get to know me mukbang probably like next week. like my cousin started a catering franchise kind of thing. So I'm gonna do a mukbang from her restaurant, if I can call it that. But yeah, until next time, guys.